Hello class, my name is Jake Sears and today we are discussing whether or not the State Board of Education should require youth participation in multiple extracurricular activities for graduation. According to Danielle Braff of the Chicago Tribune, in 2014 it was reported that youth sports specialization has long been the ticket to college athletic scholarships, and parents are now pressuring their children due to the rising college cost. It was also reported by John O'Sullivan of ChangingTheGameProject.com that parents often told them of club coaches who have told them that their kids need at least 10,000 hours of organized, deliberate practice in order to be recruited. On page 93 of our textbook, Coakley states that one of the biggest problems in youth sports today is that there is an overemphasis on early sports specialization, which leads to burnout, overuse of injuries, and a winning at all costs culture. My position is that education boards should require youth participation in multiple extracurricular activities for graduation. The evidence that I back this up with is the fact that there are less overuse injuries occurring in multi-sport athletes. Students will be more diverse and well-rounded, and most college recruiters prefer student athletes who do not specialize in one sport. According to Doug Long, a high school athletic trainer in Nebraska, children under the ages of 13 should be playing sports 80% of the time and deliberately practicing the other 20%. He also stated that specialized athletes have a 70 to 93% higher chance of injury, and with at least 50% of those injuries being related to overuse. Vermont orthopedic surgeon James Slaughterbeck states that early sports specialization injuries are often seen at the growth plates and in growing bones. He also reminds people that you should never fully partake in two sports during the same season because you will be more susceptible to stress fractures. Joel Brenner of the American Academy of Pediatrics states that taking 3 months off from one sport at separate times throughout the year allows for physical and psychological recovery, and taking as little as 2 days off per week may overall decrease the chance of injury. Now that we have discussed the potential issues in specialization relating to injuries, let's look at the benefits of participating in multiple extracurricular activities. A 2009 study in the Journal of Physical and Health Education reported that youth between the ages of 11 and 17 who participated in multiple extracurricular activities like sports, art, or volunteering achieved higher grade point averages and more positive peer relationships than children who were not as involved. In order to make the most out of his high school years, in 2016, Jane of the Naperville Sun reported that football player Daniel Dorokiak first started playing music and football in first grade and was not forced to specialize throughout high school. Dan is fully committed to both groups as both his coaches and band director embraced the idea of the go-getter. Despite the belief that hockey players sport specialize, John O'Sullivan of ChangingTheGameProject.com stated that a 2003 study on professional ice hockey players found that while most pros had spent 10,000 hours or more involved in sports prior to the age of 20, only 3,000 of those hours were involved in hockey-specific deliberate practices, and only 450 of those hours were prior to the age of 12. As sports specialization is often falsely encouraged for athletes who dream of earning college scholarships, let's see what college coaches and admission directors say about early sports specialization. According to Sarah Harbison, former Associate Dean of Admissions at the University of Pennsylvania, exploration and the application of life skills to new experiences is how kids grow. She quoted, "If they only learn one thing, they won't be ready for an unexpected curveball." End quote. In regards to specializing in one task, she also stated that it really doesn't matter what kids are doing as long as they have a positive attitude. Despite the belief that sports like swimming and gymnastics require early sports specialization, Boise State swimmer Emily Mattis has found that flexibility with ballet has helped translate to the breaststroke, and teammate Felicity Can stated that running track improved her reaction time in the pool. Now we are going to take a look at what former Western Michigan football coach PJ Fleck had to say about early sports specialization.
I've loved every stage of my life.
Why?
Because I had fun in it.
And why? Because I had fun in it. I truly enjoyed it. I couldn't wait to do it. Every aspect of it. When I was a little kid, from playing gymnastics to baseball to basketball to hockey to football,
to being in pottery,
any sport,
to being in the band,
to being in pottery, to being in the band, to being whatever. Whatever I wanted to do, my parents allowed me
to have fun, have
They
enjoyment.
allowed me to have fun, have
I see so many
enjoyment.
9-year-olds, 10-year-olds.
I see so many 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds getting burned out in one sport.
Athletes.
We recruit multi-sport athletes. Now that's a philosophy, that's not advice, that's a philosophy. But I have 4 children of my own. The best thing I can do for them is to keep it fun at an early age. Right? I look at all the pageant kids at times, you know what I mean? It's more important to the parents at times than it actually is the kid. Same thing in sports. A lot of times it's way more important to the parent to get somebody a scholarship instead of the player earning it himself because that's his passion. That's her passion. That's what they've dreamed of having.
As we just heard Coach Fleck encourage participation in multiple activities, as well as student-athletes' opinions on playing multiple sports, and advice from medical professionals, we can conclude that education boards who require multi-sport or activities for graduation will minimize the burden of caring for emotional athletes as they recover from overuse injuries. Our society will be more adaptable and diverse as our leaders of tomorrow will be receiving leadership from a variety of coaches and instructors. And lastly, the school will more likely be able to produce future college students as college recruiters should flock to the area to recruit a well-rounded athletic and academic student body. As early sport specialization is becoming more and more common with children at the pressure of parents and club coaches, my question to the class is, would it be possible for schools to assign a socialization as a kid project where they would require students to pick at least 2 different outdoor learning activities and perform a show and tell at the end of each semester? Why or why not? These activities could range from volunteering in the community or participating in the drama club to learning a new organized sport or picking up a part-time job. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a great week.